Let's start off today with a joke. And here it is for you. Where was the Declaration of Independence signed? At the bottom, of course. I knew you guys would like that one. The New Deal fights the Depression. That's where we're going next with this Great Depression talk. Concepts for today, not how is FDR, but rather who is FDR? What was his approach to handling the Great Depression, and how did it differ from Hoover's approach? What was the New Deal? And finally, what happened in Roosevelt's first 100 days in office? Key vocab for today: Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who is FDR, the New Deal, and the first 100 days. So in 1932, President Hoover runs for re-election, and he goes up against a guy named FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the Democrat, running against the Republican, and FDR wins in a landslide. Like we mentioned last time, Hoover he just hadn't done anything. The people of America feel like he hadn't done anything, and FDR is elected. And he is actually going to be president of the United States, or elected for 4 terms as president of the United States. So he's going to be the president starting in 1933, and he is the president through almost all of World War II. That's how long of a period he is our president, or the president of the United States. In comparison to Hoover, we mentioned Hoover's Depression policies had to do with kind of waiting around, letting the economy fix itself, and the government remains uninvolved. That's the policy for Hoover. The Depression policy for FDR is to get the government involved. A complete 180. We saw Hoover shift slightly toward the end of his presidency, but not nearly enough compared to what FDR is going to do especially. Now with FDR taking office, he had promised Americans this New Deal. Okay, and it's just the idea that by electing him as President of the United States, he was going to bring a new perspective, fresh ideas to the table in fighting the Great Depression. And the New Deal was that fervor, that optimism, that change that Americans desperately wanted. And they revolved around 3 goals. One was relief for the needy, another was economic recovery, and finally, the third, financial reform. To me, the most pertinent one was was relief for the needy. There were so many people in such desperate times that they just needed the government, the president, to feel like he understood where they were coming from, and that the government was going to do something for them. He felt that that's what the people were looking for, and that's what FDR wanted to give them. Now, there's a term you're going to hear about, or that you can hear about, with FDR and his time as president, and it's called the first 100 days, and it just refers to his first 100 days in office as president. But the first 100 days goes to show is to show the optimism and the high spirits that FDR brought as the newly elected president, and what it allowed for him to do was pass a lot of this New Deal legislature. It allowed him to really, by passing the New Deal legislature, it gave him the opportunity to promise this change, or put into action the change he promised. That's it for today. We'll talk about the first 100 days in more detail next time. Bye.